Austin Dillon takes the win in a very clean, uncontroversial finish yesterday. Okay, first off, let's talk about the racing. I didn't really like the racing today. It was really only like a single groove. There was a battle between Blaney and Dillon at the very end of the race, and I really enjoyed that battle. But the racing, for the most part, was very single groove, and it was very hard to pass. I didn't like the new tire compounds. I felt like people were trying to preserve their tires too much. I think they should bring back the prime tire and the softer tire back to Richmond, and maybe even at every short track, I think. Because that was a really good tire compounds, and I really liked the way that one wore off and how drivers could make moves. But this tire compound, everybody was kind of on the same strategy. There was a few people that weren't on the same strategy, but basically everybody else was on the same strategy. So, and I think they should give them an extra set of tires, because that was not a lot of tires for that race. They were struggling to preserve their tires, so I think that's something that NASCAR can improve on. Because first NASCAR was blaming the aero package, then they're blaming Goodyear, and now they're finally blaming the car. But I think there's stuff that Goodyear can still do to make the racing at short tracks better, and the tire compound with the soft and prime tires is just one of them. I think it could be like Formula One, where they have soft tires, hard tires, medium tires, wet tires, semi-wet, semi-dry tires. Those would be really nice to have. And at every race you can have one of each. And I think that Goodyear should start developing better tires so that we can go green flag at intermediates and maybe even super speedways on wets. I think that would be really awesome. So, just the tire compounds, I hope they get better over the years, but right now we're getting better, but not quite there yet. To break down the race, the first stage was really calm. Everybody's saving tires. Some people are going the entire first stage on one set. Some people are splitting it. But after that, the tire strategy was basically the same. And everybody's just trying to get all they can. Ryan Preece had a really good launch off, but then got eaten up by the people behind him because he was on the strategy where you save one set of tires for the entire first stage. So that's why I think you should give the drivers an extra 2 sets of tires, or maybe just an extra set, so that they have more room to work with and they're not trying to save the entire race. Because you want them to go and you want them to race. You don't want them to just save, because that doesn't make for very good racing. Stage 2 was very calm until the 12-car incident, where Kyle Busch first takes out Chase Briscoe, and then Chase Elliott comes by and he turns into Chase Elliott and accidentally hooks him into the wall. So there's a gigantic wreck there in 3 and 4 and in the middle of stage 2. One thing I think people could do better is, this is kind of a far-fetched idea, but maybe you have 2 spotters, one on either side of the racetrack. That way you're knowing what exactly is going on, and the spotters communicate more too. Because another example is what happened at Watkins Glen with the Xfinity Series just last week. You saw that Austin Hill was trying to get wide, and there was like a blind spot because of the tree was there, and the spotter can't quite see what's going on, so he couldn't tell McDowell that Austin Hill was on the side of him, and Michael McDowell just got turned, and there was an awful wreck. So I think we should get spotters in blind spots, that way nothing like that ever happens. But if you're the kind of person that likes watching NASCAR races just for the wrecks, I mean, they can have wrecks, but I don't want them to be violent where they hurt anybody. So I think that's something that we could also improve on. In stage 3, you had the strategy where people were doing 2 sets of tires in that one stage, and then leaving a set for like any extra cautions. There weren't any cautions, but you also saw Carson Hocevar. He decided to run that stage on 3 sets of tires, which was faster, but I didn't really like his move because he was taking a gamble. If there was a caution, then he would not have a set of tires to work with. And so I think that was a really risky move by him, but it ended up working out this time, but next time it might not be so lucky. So I think that's another reason why NASCAR should give them another set of tires, is so that if they take a gamble like that, they're not screwed and they don't have to quit the race because they don't have a set of tires to work with after the caution or whatever. And let's just say they blow a tire and they have no more tires, and it's going to be a DNF. They can't finish the race. So I think people were like Carson Hocevar, if he hadn't taken that strategy, he would have been very close on the edge of not being able to finish the race if NASCAR only gave him 7 sets. So I think that's why NASCAR should give them another set of tires. Maybe have like 10 sets of tires or 9 sets of tires at a short track like Richmond, especially if you're bringing in the soft tire compound, because the soft tires, they're faster, but they wear out faster too. So if you bring in the soft tire compound and they wear out faster, then I think that you're going to need more sets of tires to cover more laps. So that's another thing. But then let's talk about the winner, Austin Dillon. Austin Dillon wins this race, uncontroversial, no cautions, caution-free last stage. Great win for him. But I also have a couple other honorable mentions. Joey Logano goes from 38th to 4th. I think he finished 4th in this race. That's impressive. He got all the way up to 4th within like 200 laps, which is really good. But if he would have kept that pace, he would have lapped the entire field twice. So that was a good job by Joey Logano. So that's good. Ryan Blaney put up some aggressive battles with Austin Dillon there at the end. It was a very, very good job going on the outside and making that outside lane work, even though this is a very one-groove track. But good job for Ryan Blaney. I also want to talk about Chase Elliott for a second. It was really disappointing what happened with Chase. He had no DNFs in the entire season up to this point, but unfortunately he got caught up in that 12-car accident, and his streak of no DNFs was over for him. So that's really unfortunate for Chase Elliott. But they have Daytona next weekend, so I'm really looking forward to Daytona. Daytona is one of my favorite tracks. I kind of like watching what happens at the very end. Maybe there's a couple blowovers. Those are kind of fun to watch. I'm fascinated with those. So I'm really excited for the drama and chaos that's going to happen next week. Make sure to tune in next time. I don't have driver analysis this week or the playoff bubble, but in the meantime, just tune in next week for Daytona. That will be really interesting to see. There will be a lot of drama, and I'll have a lot to talk about. Alright, see you guys next time. If you like this channel, please subscribe and like, and then comment below. Tell me what you think about this year's Cookout 400. Thanks. Bye.